Hi, if you like the video, please remember to subscribe. Hi, I'm Rob from robandphoto.com, and in this evening video we're going to be looking at a cool little camera that I picked up from the car boot sale a few weeks ago. This is called the Ensign Pocket All Distance camera, and it's a 120 film camera from the 1920s that really caught my eye. Ensign, if you've done any research into old camera brands, particularly British old camera brands, is a name that kind of pops up, and cameras like the Ensign Commando from just after the Second World War are quite famous and sought after. They did a rangefinder. I think even the Ensign Commando might have been a rangefinder type camera, but this isn't anything like this. This is an old design. This is an old folding camera. I remember we were walking around the car boot sale in Bridgemary, and I kind of saw this sort of sitting there and immediately knew it was an old folding camera. And then I saw the name Ensign. I thought, oh, this looks interesting. And so I picked it up and very carefully opened it up. And these cameras basically, they call them a pocket camera. I guess this was in the days when everybody had large jackets and you keep it there. But basically you pop open the front like thus. And then the centre bit pops out, and there we've got, you know, your very familiar type of box camera, box folding camera with the bellows in the front. Really nice little piece of photographic history, really. So the name caught my eye, and I said to the lady on the stall, you know, how much is it? And she immediately came in and said, well, you know, it still works. And I was thinking, when was the last time you used it? And she said, I said, well, how much do you want for it? She said £5. So, you know, for £5, for, you know, about the same price as of a roll of decent film, for, you know, for a couple of quid more than a cappuccino, you know, I picked up this little beauty. It looked nice and clean. Went home, started doing a little bit of research on the internet, and obviously having a look at the camera itself. And what's really great about these little pocket all distance cameras from Ensign is that, I guess, you know, if you're into collecting cameras, you know, it's a little bit of history because it's a British camera, it's an English camera, but there's plenty of these on eBay going relatively cheap. But especially if you're into taking photographs, to actually have the experience of using this type of camera, it takes 120 roll film, which is some of these older bellows type folding pocket cameras. They can take roll film that you can make up yourself. You know, you can roll your own, but the beauty with 120, there's no messing around. You know, you can get Ilford FP4 125, or there's loads of different, you know, black and white and colour roll films readily and fairly easily and cheaply available. Now, roll film, if you haven't played with it already, excuse me when I pour roll film out, this is basically the stuff here. Instead of coming in a cartridge, you see it's on a roll with a spool in the middle, and it has a paper backing. And I think you get about, I think it was 8 shots you get out of the Ensign. You don't get that many, but don't worry, 120 film is incredibly easy to use, and there's lots of advice on on YouTube about how to do it. You can watch lots of different videos. But it means that you can pick up one of these cameras for very little on eBay. I did a little bit of research, and they're very, very cheap indeed. And you'll be able to put film in it, you'll be able to play in it. And what's especially good is the Ensign name isn't known that well. And lots of the people who are selling these cameras don't know that they take 120 film, or don't care. So in the listings, it doesn't mention 120. But we know, you know, if you look up an Ensign all distance pocket camera, it will take 120 film. So you'll be able to pop it in and then go shoot away. And if it's black and white, develop it yourself. If it's colour, send it off and get it developed. But they really are very cute little cameras. And they're very easy to use as well. It's called the All Distance because, quite simply, it only has 2 different focus points, and you do it just by pulling the bellows backwards and forwards. You probably won't be able to see, but there's just one setting for views, which means landscapes, and there's one for portraits when you're taking pictures of people. And all you do, there's a little lever that you push over, like so, and then you just gently drag the bellows forward and it clicks in the next setting, and that's it. You know, it's a very simple zone focusing system. And then to set your aperture, all you have small, medium and large apertures, and what they say is you would use the large one because it came with the instructions, or you can download them from Mike Bookus. The large aperture you use on a cloudy day. The medium aperture you use on a sunny day, and you would only use the small aperture if you're using the bulb focus, the bulb shutter setting, because it only has one shutter speed, a 30th of a second. But you can either have your normal instant picture, sort of like that, or you can set it to bulb, where you kind of press it and then press it again to release it, and then you've got time. Sorry, is it? No, so bulb is where you press it and you hang on to it, and when you release it, it closes. And time, you press it once to open it and press it again to close it. To compose your photos, you look down through the little finder, which is just here. This one's a little bit cloudy, and it's a bit of guesswork, to be honest, because everything's round the wrong way. But that's part of the beauty of using these cameras. But if you want to do a landscape type shot, you gently flick that over there. Can you see the metal frame? And sort of you do that. And then when you're ready to take the picture, there's that little lever there, which you just press. To advance the film, you just use the winder, and then you just look for the arrows and the numbers appearing in the little orange screen at the back. So there we go. A fantastically cool little camera. Now, I've taken some shots with these and I'll put them at the end of the video. They're okay. I'm using expired film, and I think my developer might have expired as well, so they're a little bit grainy. But I'll put 3 shots up. But the camera works. There's no big light leaks in it at all, which sometimes you can get with the old bellow cameras. But to kind of sum it up, I would say, if you see one of these cameras going cheap in a thrift store at a car boot sale, pick it up, because it's 120 film. It's a workable, usable camera that you can take out and take photographs with, and enjoy the simple experience of not having to worry about electronics, just going out and having to think, well, how far is my subject away from me? Are they very, very close for a portrait, or is it something else? And is it a sunny day, or is it a bit overcast? And that's all you've got to worry about. It doesn't work too great on moving subjects, but for everything else, what a great slice of living history that's almost 100 years old, that as photographers we can play with, we can use, and we can get some really nice images out of as well. That's it. So that's the Ensign all distance pocket folding camera. My name's Rob from robnonphoto.com. Thanks for watching.